Okay, you're a home seller. Your house is now under contract. A buyer has signed, you have agreed to a closing date, and everyone's moving toward that destination. What are some steps you can take to ensure that it actually happens, that your contract doesn't fall through, that things do come to pass and the sale is consummated and you're on your way to your next happy home? Well, first of all, when the buyer comes along and they make an offer on your house, you want to make sure they're qualified, and your realtor is really going to help you a lot with this. Your realtor should ensure that the buyer has been pre-approved for financing. Not only pre-approved, but the bank has done all that they can to ensure that there's a very high likelihood that the buyer's loan will be approved. Now, you'll find that some buyers are further along in that process than others. Sometimes the lender has verified their income, their employment, their credit. Ideally, all those things have been done. Not only that, but that they have the cash that they need in order to complete the purchase. If your buyer is not getting a bank loan and they're paying cash, you want to make sure that your realtor has verified that those funds are sitting in an account, that they're not waiting on some insurance policy to pay off, or a lawsuit that they're depending on some money coming in from. No, you want to make sure that they have the money, the funds are there and ready to be deployed. So buyer's qualification is very important. Also, in your contract, typically the buyer will have the right to do a home inspection. Now, if they waive that, all the better. But if there's a contingency in there that has to do with a home inspection, you want to, I guess, be as sure as you can that you're going to work that out. Now, you don't know in advance, but there are certain things, certain components of that inspection contingency that could put things in your favor. For one, some contracts will give the buyer just the right to just walk away if there's anything in that home inspection they don't like. So theoretically, this one wall receptacle isn't working, I'm gone. So you want to have a contract that at least gives you the right to negotiate repair items, that doesn't give the buyer the right to just walk away. You'd rather you'd rather have a contract that would give you the right to offer them a credit or to have it repaired, and that if you're willing to do so, that the buyer is still committed to moving forward. So home inspections are something to watch. Bank appraisals. Hopefully your house has been listed at a price where if the bank sends an appraiser out to prove that it's worth what the buyer's paying for it, they can do just that. They can show the buyer that it's worth it. If you want some extra insurance, if you find a buyer who, again, if they're paying cash, they don't have to have an appraisal. If they're getting a bank loan, sometimes a buyer will waive the appraisal and say, we're going to buy it regardless of whether or not it appraises for the asking price. That might mean that the buyer has to come up with some more cash to make the lender comfortable with doing the loan, but regardless, the buyer has said, look, the appraisal is just not going to be an issue. So that's good. So those are a few things to think about that can ensure that your contract gets to closing. The more the buyer's lender has investigated and verified income, looked at credit, made sure that there's no debts that the buyer forgot to tell them about, the better your chances are going to be. Cash is good, waived inspections are good, waived appraisals, all that just elevates the chances of your contract getting to closing. So hire an experienced realtor who's been down this road many times, who's seen the potential pitfalls and can be on the lookout for them, and your odds will be better still. So, little insight on that today. I hope you have a fantastic week.